Let the record reflect that 1027 Commissioners Court reconvened in regular session. During executive session, the court had discussion regarding the pending litigation against the county filed by Texas Tribune, and I'll ask the court if there's any type of action I can take out of it.
Rizo, I'd like to make a motion for the Commissioners Court that Commissioners Court will not appeal the Texas Tribune case any further.
You've heard the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that, Judge.
Discussion on that motion.
I'll only say that my vote will be based purely on those families that contacted me. I realize they may or may not be the majority of the families, but the majority of the families, all the families that reach out to me express one direction, and that will be reflected in my vote.
Judge, I will say that this decision that we're making today, if it passes, and I hope it will pass, this is a victory for the families. It's a victory for transparency. I think families, for far too long, they've been kept in the dark. And so this is a victory for the families, for the parents, for those beautiful children, those two wonderful teachers that were taken from us. So that's my statement. Thank you, Judge.
Anything else from the court? We do have Jesse Rizo. Jesse, would you want to say?
Judge, Commissioner, thank you for allowing me to speak today. I come here in good faith, and I come here to ask that you do not appeal the decision that was already made. The judge ruled in favor of releasing. The appellate court also ruled in favor of releasing, and to appeal the decision to take it to the next level, to me, is more harmful than good. This information will eventually see the light of day through litigation, perhaps. And there comes a time when we have to restore. We've torn a lot of things. We've torn the school, the community, our friendships that we've had. 3 years have gone by. When I reached the families, you're absolutely right. Not everybody's at 100%. That's totally right. The majority of the people asked that we release the information, and some of the parents, as I went down the list, those that wanted to talk, some of the teachers that weren't necessarily at Robb, that asked, I realized that when they were looking when they were looking at the building, I realized, just like everybody in this room, that it takes you knew exactly where you were that day, what you ate, what you drank, every single thing where you were at that moment. I turned around and I asked her, what is it that you want me to do? As she came back to me from that day, 3 years later, and the teacher said, I want you to release it. How else can I trust you if I always believe that you're hiding something? That's profound to me. I'm going to read some of the quotes, and they're painful, but I want you to think about them. And I want you to just imagine what it's like. And I'm sure they reached out to some of you. And it's not that slowly but love, slowly, it takes the life out of you. And you have to live with these things, right? You can't undo what they tell you, how they feel. So I'm going to read some of those comments that came specifically from some of the moms and parents. I shared with you all what the teacher told me. My parents said to me, I have lost my child. What can hurt me more than losing my child? Another family member said, we owe them the truth. We're teaching others by releasing this information. It should be theirs because they lost the most. The information would give me peace of mind, but by not releasing the information, it's like you're torturing me. Is this too much to ask? By not releasing, you're taking my sanity. Another mom told me, I lost my daughter. What else could be worse? By not releasing this information, you're slowly killing me. Another parent told me, you can't give me my child back. The least you can do is give me this information. One mom told me, I've seen a lot worse. I've seen pictures. We've seen everything. I ask that you release this. So before y'all take your vote, I ask y'all to consider this and how, on what side are you going to be on? When you go to bed and hear these things, right, I'm sure they stop you. This is more harmful than good. And I understand where the DA stands, I get all that. But at the end of the day, who lost the most? The parents did, the survivors did, the school did, the county did. Everyone in this room hurts and pains. Sometimes people cloud it and they support you and they embrace you, some more vocal than others. But at the end of the day, we're all human. You cannot take the human out of it. So I ask, as you consider this situation, that you look at the bigger picture. This is bigger than us. Right? Where do you stand as far as when you begin to rebuild this community? I've had conversations with multiple of y'all, and you have asked me, what can I do to help restore this thing? And this is what I'm asking y'all. This is the answer that I have. Do not vote to continue to appeal so that the information come out. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right, any other comments from the court? Now we'll proceed to vote. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Nay. Abstained? Motion carries 2-0. 2-1-0. I'm sorry, 2-1-1. All right, we'll go back and pick up item number 2, and that's citizens' comments. Should we have comments? Diana Olvedo?
Good morning, Diana Olvedo-Karua. I wanted to address the court this morning regarding the decision you have just made. I thought I would have the opportunity to do so before you went into executive session. I understand the reason for moving that agenda item up on the schedule. I appreciate that the majority of you have voted to not appeal the litigation. I understand why Commissioner Pargas abstained, I believe. And I'm not quite sure I understand why Commissioner Yeackle voted nay. What I also want to say is that it is very disappointing to me as a citizen, as a taxpayer, that this court prolonged this issue for so long. It is very reflective of what this community, the government entities in this community, have done across the years. The length of time it took this community to resolve litigation regarding segregation of our children in the 70s, representation on the school board in the 80s, even still yet, not willing to acknowledge that there are wrongs and spending hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars on lawyers fighting wrongs instead of doing what's right. You made a small step today, but sometimes things like this are a little too late.